your head go. There you go, beautiful. Right here. There you go, good. There you go. Wow. Ooh. All right, I know it hasn't moved in a while.
I have some upper back problems. I just feel stuck. Like when I try to get in a good posture, I just feel like something is preventing me from doing so. So I know I have something going on back there.
Can you point with one finger where's the most discomfort today?
Yeah.
Both on just that left side mainly?
Mainly.
And how long you worked as an RN?
Like 6, 7 years.
6, 7 years as RN, and what positions mainly you think you're working in most of the time? Are you sitting, are you standing, are you both, everything?
Everything and then some.
All right. Let me show you one thing I want to show you out here. The joints in your lower neck refer pain almost exactly where you're pointing. We call it a pain referral pattern. So irritation of these joints in the lower neck actually will send pain. Inflammation of this area causes pain right on the border of the scapula. And you also have sort of an overlap. You can have the ribs in there being inflamed because of the posture of being rounded forward. That position puts a lot of swelling in these joints, and then you'll feel like there's an irritation or a click that needs to be resolved. Go ahead and stand.
I feel some pain in there too.
Okay.
So.
Look straight forward. Look at your posture here. So your head's about an inch or so forward. The ear hole, we call it the external auditory meatus, should line up with the center of our shoulder from the side. And because of school and work and life, our head going forward makes our head essentially feel like it weighs more to the muscles. So your head weighs about 10 pounds. Every inch the head goes forward, the muscles have to double their work. So it's supposed to be about 10, 12 pounds. Yeah, makes sense. And then you go to 20, 40, 80. And then the more forward your head goes, the more the jaw actually gets jammed. And so TMJ, inflammation in this area is actually a sort of a coupled symptom with the head being forward. And, most of our jobs don't really require much mobility of our chest. We sort of lock our chest and we move our arms. And so this area sort of becomes congested and inflamed because it's not really moving. The tissue cleans itself by mobility. And so this is where almost like our teeth can't just be left alone and just expected to clean themselves. We have to participate. And there are things we can do at home once we sort of understand how to get everything moving. I can teach you some ways of keeping everything moving in there.
Yes,
but typically what I find is that everybody's overworking the lower neck because of two things. One, the head being forward makes us lose this arch in our neck. So there's supposed to be a curve in your neck, and it goes straighter the more your head goes forward. And then like a ladder, all the weight goes down to your lower neck. And then two, this area becomes the loosest part of your spine. So when you're bending, all the bending is occurring. So the more forward your head goes, the more tight the muscles in your neck are. Because if they don't, your head just plops over, right? So the position of your neck determines how tight the muscles are. There's a myriad of symptoms and even digestive symptoms, because the more forward your head goes, the more you're squeezing your stomach, right? So the stomach's underneath your xiphoid, and the more forwardly rotated we are, the more we're squeezing our stomach. You put food in the stomach and you squeeze it, you get acid reflux. So forward head posture causes acid reflux, TMJ, drainage issues, headaches, shoulder pain. On your back for me.
That's funny you mentioned that right here, because it's not until my husband massages me that I feel like, wow, I didn't know I was so tight in there.
All that resting tension, right?
Yeah.
Let me have you on your back. Yep. I'm going to sort of go through your spine a little bit to see who's working. Exhale for me. Let all the air out. Let the jaw relax. There you go. Let it out. Deep breath in. Exhale. Yeah, deep breath in. I got work to do. Exhale. Let it all go. Chin down a little bit. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Some reluctancy, right? Perfect. Take a deep breath in for me. And then exhale. Good. Other side for me. Good. Look over this shoulder. Turn your head a little bit. There we go. Exhale. Exhale. There we go. Face that for me. Wow. A lot of. I ain't messing with your neck muscles. You got some power back here. This is all. Whew. Yeah. All right. Just gonna massage for a second. There we go. Yeah, this is supposed to be your primary engine, your upper neck. I don't know, it's like a 30 horsepower sewing machine down here and a 1,000 horsepower Ferrari engine. Which one do you want to, use to get around town? This is supposed to be your main engine, and so if it's all tight up here, then it's not functioning properly, and so it then leaves all the work and burden to your lower neck to accomplish. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. I'm going real gentle. I just want to see how it's moving here. Breathe. Let your head go. There you go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let me hold your head. I got you. Let this side go right here. There you go. Good. All right. I got you. So everything I do after the adjustment is to make the next time I adjust you better. Like when I bring up that thoracic adjustment, the chest area, I expect 12 vertebrae move, right? There's 12 thoracic vertebrae. I got about maybe 6, 5, right? So about half the vertebrae aren't showing up to work. And so then whoever does show up to work has to do double the work because they don't have all the resources, all the other members of the team showing up. And that causes accelerated aging that I showed you on that x-ray. Remember how the lower neck on that lady looked older? Mm-hmm. So certain areas will, like the candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long. It doesn't make it a disease candle. We just say that's what happens. That's what happens when and there's a little click right there. Feel that little click? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, a little, almost like a pothole or a speed bump. There shouldn't be any. What sports did you play in high school? Did you play any?
Basketball, volleyball.
Okay.
Track.
You gotcha. Yeah. So we get injured, and typically, you didn't have Dr. Bo, my father, as your father, and I got adjusted right away. We have injuries, and in America, most people, walk it off, kid. You get hit in the head with a basketball or volleyball or, and we heal stiff. We heal in a different position than we were pre-injury. And these are the sort of the dents and dings that make us want to lean away from them. And so as we bring your head back, I need your upper neck to do it, not your lower neck. Yeah, right there. Wow. Mm-hmm. That is a tangle up in her upper neck. It's just a little tangled up here. Right there.
I would love to know if this side is worse than the other, because the other side is just like...
Yeah. So usually...
So painful.
Yeah, this is actually, just real briefly as I feel it, this side, the right side feels tight. The left side probably is abused. Like, this is actually pretty smooth over here. See, the side that hurts is going to be the side that I feel is good because it functions, right? As I'm feeling your spine, the areas that are moving, I don't have any problem with. They're already functioning. My problem is with the areas that aren't showing up. Mm-hmm. But can you feel that if there's really no speed bump over here? Mm-hmm. Feel how it's almost as smooth. Now, what I would consider, this is the right side is what we call your stuck side, and the left side is your overworked or the abused side. And so yes, I can see how the left side's probably the side that hurts, but it's from essentially your head is tilted to the left. You like to tilt your head left, you like to sleep on your left side, person on your left shoulder, and you like to avoid the right side because there's an injury up here on the right that makes your head, does that make sense?
I got hit on this side.
Right. And then because you got hit here, the right side of your neck got injured, and then as a result of that, your head just healed, tilted to the left. And now because your head tilted to the left and healed tilted to the left, your lower neck on the left is taking extra stress. How long ago was that? You said auto accident?
Oh yeah, that one was in 2013.
Right. So for the last
2012, 13.
Last 8-9 years, whatever, your body is healed with the wrong alignment, and somebody's got
with some beach volleyball games in there and being active with the kids,
kicking butt and taking names. I got you.
Oh goodness!
You don't like to utilize the right side of your neck as easily as you utilize the left, and so the left lower neck is being overstressed right here on the left lower, and that's what refers pain to that scapula. You can get your chiropractic diploma on the way out, and yeah, you got it. And so There you go. It's smoothing out pretty well. I mean, it's pretty. She's really. I mean, your body's responding pretty quickly to. Does that make sense? Maybe the speed bump's going away pretty quick. And then the idea is then how do we keep it from coming back? Because you have a habit of tilting your head left, which makes this fill up again. And I'm a greedy chiropractor. There you go. Wow. You okay?
Yes.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Sort of release the masseter muscle. The masseter here is way too tense in here. It's sort of, and the masseter and the TMJ, this joint here gets inflamed the more forward the head goes. So just trying to release some of the tension in here a little bit, and then as we bring the head back, this won't build up so much. But yeah, that's.
Oh man, you're hitting the spot. It feels so good. It hurts, but it feels good.
Pretty large difference in the tightness in the masseter, right? You feel the difference. This is not nearly as tight as on the left. You know, and then I'm checking for that water balloon a little bit. You know, right there. That's a little.
Different parts of the body.
I'd be curious.
Different hits.
Right. I'd be curious if you like to chew on the left side. I don't know. I'm just thinking.
I am left-handed, so yeah, I do.
This is the curve, and they make a molding device called a Denneroll that holds us in this arched position, and so the whole
Feels so good. Is that just your hand doing that?
Yep.
I feel like I was in that device already.
Right. Yeah, I got
Oh, that feels so good.
And so the device holds you here. That's the whole purpose, is you get your spine limbered up, you know, softened up, and then we want to hold you and mold you into this arched position. And that arched position then takes the stress off your lower neck. It makes your upper neck looser, keeps your lower neck from having to function so much. It's like you're born with gold and you heal with copper. So it's not exactly the same material, and so we're trying to blur the union between the copper and the gold so it's not as easily apparent.
It's a nice analogy.
So yeah, you just got some lactic acid that's been stuck in here, and part of the inflammation here is what's irritating the nerves in your lower neck, and then that gives you that pain on the lower neck into your shoulder blades. So I'm trying to clean all this out. You're doing great. Look at your back. The left side is a lot higher. If I put a marble on your back, it's going to roll off to the right. Your left shoulder is high and your right shoulder is low, and that's what raises up these ribs over here. It's a domino effect. Does that make sense? From the alignment of your head. This is not its own boss. The boss is the head alignment, the head forward alignment, the head tilt. And ultimately, you're telling me everything's coming from that injury in the right upper part of my neck? And yes, everything sort of stems from that. But yeah, this is all, wow. I mean, it's really, I'll stop talking about it in a second, but it's all, I'm not, there's plenty of reasons for why you're hurting in here. And
I'd
so
like to know. Keep going, you know.
Here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna keep. She's pretty tough. Here we go.
Yeah, like right now, I don't even feel it, even though you're probably going pretty hard.
All right. Ed, you're sweating. Okay, all right.
Go harder, baby.
Rick'em, rock'em, rake. Stick that sword into that snake. You stay out of this. Oh, Jafar, he's our man. If he can't do it, great. My wife's my little cheerleader. Get her. She's got all this guarding in here, and that's what has to be unlocked.
I feel all of that. Like that's exactly those stuck areas. And I've been feeling like this for years. Like the adjustment usually helps, but it's temporary. You know, I don't get this.
You're not getting the deeper level. Notice when I did your neck, I had to massage it a little bit on the right to get it to move how I really wanted it to. Does that make sense? The first sort of depth level of the adjustment is the less restricted ones, and then the most restricted ones need more coercion to unlock. Wow, she's tough. Here we go.
That's the spot. Like, what is that?
These are the roots of your neck. The roots of your neck are right here. So the more forward angled the head goes, the more the roots down here are pulling on these attachments. Like a tree leaning over, the roots on the opposite side start getting...
So it's like my neck is leaning to the left and it's forward?
And it's forward. You got it. Yep, you got it. So this anchor point's being really tugged on. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So there's a reflection. So the left upper causes a right lower reflection. It's really just, it'll go from here to here and then back to the right. That makes sense.
I was going to say, that's like a whole zigzag because
you got
it's like...
So it'll be down here on the right lower. But this is a reflection of this. This is just causing this to pop, and then this has to angle because it's having to deal with the left side being out of alignment on the upper. Right there, yeah.
It's like you feel doctors go over those areas, but it's like they act like they didn't feel that. I'm like, I know you felt that because I felt that, so what are you going to do about that?
Fix it. Right. Get to work. Get to rubbing.
Yeah, it's like it takes a special kind of person to be able to feel all these knots because I'm like, you don't feel that? I'm like, no, I don't feel anything.
Yeah, gee whiz, then learn how to palpate, right?
My neck, when I stood up, I already felt the difference. Wow. You're hitting all the spots. Wow.
So real quick, it's coming up. And so the more I draw out of here, the more lactic acid that we pull from this tissue, the more sore you're going to be. And so I'm not sure if I want to see you tomorrow because, oh my gosh, and I was so tender. It's like going to the gym and doing a big workout. The next day how big the workout you do determines how sore you are the next day. I rode horses with my wife years ago, and the next day I couldn't walk because, from gripping onto the horse. And, well, it's because you're out of shape, Ed. Okay, fair enough. Not used to riding horses, and so you're not in Dr. Ed and Dr. Bo shape in terms of what the amount of mobility that I demand, that I want your back to move at, and the level that it's sort of happy at working at is two different things, and so bringing them into alignment. Yeah, there's a reflection down here. Real quick, it came out on the right lower.
On the videos, it does look like you're pressing hard, but you're not at all.
Yeah, it's
so
most people. This is the easy part of the visit. This is the I can't. People actually beg for it. They're like, Ed, you're gonna gua sha me, right? You know, I want the ice cream with the cherry. You know, it's. Yeah, right there's the root right there.
Is it coming up?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
It's dark, yeah.
It's
But your neck is a good mark too.
It's really dark right here. Sort of the color of the mark will also sort of signify how long it's been there. Sometimes if it's more red or pinkish, it's more new, and if it's like purple or darker, then it's kind of been stagnant for a while. The blood's been stuck there, and it's not getting good flow through, right? Good flushing of the tissue. Yeah, right here. Wow. There. Like a monster. It's a clog.
My boys are gonna be like, "Mommy, are you okay?"
Yeah. Aww.
They said, "Okay, I'll see you when you too."
That mean Dr. Ed hurt you, Mommy. We'll get him.
My hips used to be
Yes.
so bad, and I know that my hips are tight too. But you know, with running and stuff, I had just stopped altogether because of this pain that I was having, and I'm like, I need to get this corrected, and then continue to stretch it and, you know, make sure I don't get back into this position again, because it was just so painful. So I'm like, should I just work through it, or?
Yeah, you're talking about this guy, right? This guy up here?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to adjust it again in a second. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I know it's intense. Here we go. Exhale. I know. Good job. Breathe. Here we go. We're getting right over it. All right. I know that's sore. I'm sorry. There you go. Wow.
Ooh.
All right. I know that hasn't moved in a while.
How'd that feel?
Amazing.
You did great. You did so good. The more forward we go with our head, the more weight goes onto our toes, and that causes foot problems. The weight belongs on your heel, and the more forward we canter our upper body, then we start getting bunions and drop metatarsals and heel spurs and plantar fasciitis and shin splints, and you want to keep the weight back on your. Good, there we go. Yeah, we're jammed on this side, left side, yeah. Did you bust this toe right here?
Not that I know
That's all. Feel that? You feel that?
of. Yes.
Like it. There's
What is that about?
that right there is an injured joint. That's what an injured joint feels like. It kind of crunches. The ligament, see, that's more normal. That one joint's been, you stubbed it, or just ligament injury. Who knows? Oh, tiny little ears. So tilt your head to the left a little bit for me. Tilt your head left. There we go. Good. Pretty good. Feel good?
Wow. That is so strange. Feels good.
I got you. Tilt your head to the right a little bit for me. Tilt your head right. There we go. Good. All right, good.
What are you doing here? What was that?
There's all these sort of adhesions that glue get behind the ear. It just builds up over time, and I think the drain lines from the face go down through that area. And if all that area is so constricted and congested, it's part of what causes more sinus and facial issues. is that these areas aren't draining. Plus the neck being tight, the head being forward. There you go. Get the idea. You want to lay on this at home, sort of like clay. After we soften the clay, we want to end and press the spine into the right mold. The neck is supposed to be arched all the time, so sometimes you take your hand onto your forehead and you just sort of press. That makes sense, to get your head to sink into it, and then once it's sort of staying there, you can put your hand back on your belly and just sort of see if you can let it stay there. And we call this the spinal molding. So in your case also, you'd almost want to be a little bit to the right, so your neck would be back and then a little, get the idea? To work that right upper part. So if in doubt, you can keep your head straight, but if you want to go back and to the right a little bit, that'll help unpinch that left lower neck and left shoulder blade. And that's your, we call it molding. And this is what you can do at home, sort of like a toothbrush at the end of the day. Now you go home and use this device to draw the head back. The table work is to soften you. Once your spine's soft, then you can do this work at home, laying on these devices, and that's how you, take it from there.
Okay.
So, yeah, we did great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.